20 years. Think about what that means. 20 years of shared meals and shared beds and shared grief and shared everything. 20 years of knowing somebody's patterns, their sounds, the way they breathe when they sleeping. And then one day, that person go find somebody else. And everybody around them want to say they were selfish, they were weak, they were wrong. And maybe some of that true, but I've lived long enough to know that when something happened that common, when it happened across cultures and income levels and religions and all kind of different people, it ain't just about weakness. There's something else underneath it. And I think we owe it to ourselves to actually look at what that is. Because cheating after 2 decades ain't the same thing as cheating in year 2. The reason's different. The hunger behind it different. And if you don't understand the difference, you gonna keep being shocked every time it happen. And it gon' keep happening. Here's what I believe is really going on. By the time you 20 years into a marriage, you know exactly who you are to that person. You know your role. You the provider, or you the caretaker, or you the responsible one, or you the one who handled the money, or the one who hold the family together. You gotta function, and that function become your whole identity inside that relationship. The person stops seeing you as a full human being with mystery and depth. They see you as the role you play, and you started seeing yourself that way too. Now that might not sound like a big deal, but it is. Because somewhere deep in every person is this need to be seen, not as what they do, not as what they provide, but as who they actually are. And when that need go unmet for years, quietly, without either person even realizing it happening, something start to ache. And then somebody outside the marriage look at them different. It ain't always about attraction. It ain't always even about romance. Sometimes it's just that somebody asked them a question nobody asked them in years. Somebody laughed at something they said like it was the first time they ever heard something that funny. Somebody looked at them like they was interesting, like they was new. And that feeling of being seen, fresh, it's so powerful, it overrides 20 years of sense. That's the hidden thing. It's not that they stop loving their spouse. A lot of times they still love them. It's that they stop feeling like a person inside the marriage and started feeling like a fixture. And that outside situation made them feel like a person again. Now, I want to be clear. I am not excusing it. Choosing to go outside your marriage is a choice. It causes real damage. It breaks real trust. I've seen what it do to families, and I don't take it lightly. But understanding why something happened ain't the same as saying it was okay. You can hold both. You can say this was wrong and this is why it happened. Because if you only stay at it was wrong, you never figure out how to prevent it. And here's what makes it even more complicated. The person who cheated, a lot of times, they don't fully understand why they did it. They feel shame. They feel confused. They might even feel like they still love their spouse. And they trying to figure out how both things can be true at the same time. Because in their mind, they didn't go looking for an affair. They went looking for something they couldn't even name. And the affair just happened to be where they found it. That's what nobody talk about. The search before the cheating. The quiet desperation that don't look like desperation. It looked like just going through the days. It looked like being fine. It looked like a normal marriage from the outside, but inside one or both people, there's a hunger that ain't being fed. And hungry people, eventually, they eat whatever in front of them. The marriages that survive long term, the ones that actually stay alive and not just stay intact, they the ones where people keep showing their spouse who they still becoming, where they don't let each other turn into furniture, where they stay genuinely curious about each other, even after decades. That ain't easy. That take real effort from both sides. You gotta keep choosing to see each other as full people and not just as the person who do certain things in your life. And here the part that really get me. A lot of these marriages that end in infidelity, they could have been saved. Not after the affair, before it. If somebody had said something, if somebody had admitted they felt invisible, if somebody had sat down and said, I love you, but I feel like you don't see me no more. But we've been taught that if you love somebody enough, you shouldn't need to say that. We've been taught that a good marriage just run on its own. And that is one of the most damaging lies we ever believed. No relationship run on its own. Not after 20 years, not after 2. It need tending. It need honest conversation about hard things. It need both people willing to say the uncomfortable truth before the uncomfortable truth turn into something that can't be taken back. 20 years is a long time to build something. It is also a long time to slowly stop nurturing something while thinking it too solid to fall. It can fall. It fall every day, and most times, by the time people see it falling, it already been leaning for a long time.